I'm 73 years old, and I'm going to tell you something that might knock your socks off. Everything you think about aging is complete nonsense. But the worst thing isn't even that. The worst thing is that the people who should have warned you, your parents, teachers, and our entire society, they're either lying to you or they're mistaken themselves. You know, I spent the first half century of my life believing the same lies that you probably believe now. I thought I had it all under control. Career, home, respect of my colleagues, the whole package. But at 52, something happened that shattered my worldview into pieces. What I learned over the next 21 years has completely changed my views on life, death, and everything in between. But before I tell you what happened, understand one thing. I'm not recording this video to impress anyone or to play the wise woman. I'm doing this because my time is running out. And there are things you have to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 52 years old, I had what doctors call a cardiac event. Behind this clinical term lies a simple fact. My heart was trying to kill me. I was sitting in a meeting discussing quarterly reports when the room suddenly started spinning. The next thing I remember is a hospital bed, tubes sticking out of my veins, and my husband crying in the corner of the room. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky. I had just looked into the eyes of my own death, and they called it luck. But you know what? They were right, because as I lay there, staring at the ceiling, alone with my thoughts, I realized a terrible thing. I'd lived my whole life on autopilot. I hadn't really lived. I was just performing functions, checking boxes, trying to live up to other people's expectations. And here's the thought that haunts me to this day. If I had died that day, if my heart had stopped forever, what would I have left behind? A nice house, a 401k, a set of certificates and achievements that no one will remember in 5 years. Let me tell you the biggest lie you're whispering to yourself right now. I have time. I'll do it later. Or, I'll get older and then I'll live the way I want. I see 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, even 40-year-olds all saying the same thing. When I earn more money, then I'll be happy. When I get that promotion, I'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief. When the kids grow up, I'll start traveling. When I retire, I'll do what I love. Let me save you 50 years of regret with one simple truth. That day will never come. Do you know why? Because the finish line is constantly moving. You get a job and immediately need the next one. You earn the amount you dreamed of and suddenly you need more. You're always chasing something that's just out of reach, and before you know it, you're 70 and wondering where life went. I did it myself. I spent 30 years climbing the corporate ladder, only to realize at the top that it was leaning against the wrong wall and it was impossible to climb down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. This is what they don't tell you when you're young. Success is a terrible goal. I say this as a person who achieved everything she wanted. I became a partner in my firm, bought a beautiful home, earned respect. And you know what? It didn't mean anything. You achieve your goal and feel like a queen for exactly 48 hours. And then the feeling fades, you return to normal, and you need a new fix, a bigger target. My best friend died 3 years ago. She was 68. She worked 70 hours a week, spent her whole life building a business empire, and never took a real vacation. She kept saying, "Next year I'll slow down." Next year came, and she had a massive stroke. At the funeral, her daughter said, "My mom was a successful woman, but I barely knew her." Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about the mistakes you made, they'll be about the things you didn't do. I don't lie awake at night remembering failed deals. That's all dust. You know what keeps me up at night? The trip to Italy I never took because I was too busy. The relationship with my sister I let fall apart. The novel I dreamed of writing but never started. The time I stole from my children by working late at the office. That's what eats at you inside. The missed opportunities, roads not taken, the love you didn't express, the risks you didn't take because you were afraid. The people you love, your parents, your siblings, your friends, you think they'll be with you forever. That's not true. One day their time will run out. My mother died when I was 45. We had a complicated relationship, and I was always too busy to fix it. I thought I'd get things sorted out, and then we'd talk. The chance never came. Heart attack. It was all over in a matter of hours. And you know what I regret the most? All those Sundays I didn't call her. All the lunches I was too busy to attend. The little moments I let slip through my fingers. But then, after my heart attack, I changed everything. I stepped back from work, started saying no to things that didn't matter, and started saying yes to things I'd been putting off for decades. I've learned more about life in these last 21 years than in the previous 52. What's really important? It's simple actually. Time with the people you love, work that has meaning to you, experiences rather than possessions, making memories, being present in the moment. I know it sounds cliche. If I were your age, I'd roll my eyes. Sure, Grandma, but I've got bills to pay. And yes, you do. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm saying don't sacrifice what's important for what's unimportant. Ask yourself and answer honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you be happy with how you lived your life? Not the obituary that would be written, not how much money you made, but whether you personally would be satisfied. And if the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What are you doing that's so important? What are you willing to bet your only life on? I'm 73. I've been fortunate to stay healthy since that cardiac event. But every morning I wake up knowing I'm living on borrowed time. The truth is, we all are. But young people don't understand. They think they're invincible. I have 3 grandchildren, and looking at them, I see the same thing I see in most of today's young people. They are stressed, they are anxious, they are chasing things that won't bring them happiness. They're repeating my mistakes. I try to tell them to share my experience, but you know what? They don't listen. Not because they're bad kids, but because they can't. They're in the storm right now. They don't see the big picture yet. They think their situation is unique and the old rules don't apply to them. That's why I'm recording this video, because maybe if enough people hear this message, someone will actually listen, make a different choice, avoid the regrets I live with. You're approaching death. Nobody likes to think about it, but your time is finite, and so is the time of those you love. Your parents are getting older every day. One day, probably sooner than you think, they'll be gone. Friends, spouses, children, nothing lasts forever. So what are you going to do? Keep putting off that phone call, rescheduling that trip, lying to yourself that you'll find time later? Or wake up today and start living like your time is limited, because it is. If I could go back to my 30-year-old self, this is what I'd say. Stop trying to impress people who don't care about you. Stop destroying your health for the sake of your career. Stop postponing joy for some mythical future. Stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Start calling your parents. Buy the plane tickets. Travel. Chase your dreams. Do what scares you. Learn to say no to the obligations that drain you and say yes to what fills you with life. And most importantly, start now. Not next year. Not when you finish this project. Not when you have more money. Now, because I promise you, the perfect moment will never come. Life will always be complicated, messy, and full of reasons to wait. But if you wait, one day you'll wake up and realize you waited your whole life. I'm 73. If I'm lucky, I have another 10 to 15 years. Maybe 20 if I'm really fortunate, but most likely less. And I'm at peace, because these last 21 years have been the richest of my life. Not because of money, but because I finally started living consciously. I saw the places I dreamed about. I grew closer to my children and grandchildren. I took up hobbies I'd abandoned. I forgave old grudges and said I love you thousands of times. At 73, with almost nothing left ahead, I'm happier than I was at 30 when the whole world lay at my feet. That's the irony. When you realize your time is limited, you start to truly live. You stop wasting it. You stop postponing happiness. The choice is yours, right now, today. Continue to live as you have. chasing success and waiting for better times. Or wake up and realize that the sand is falling faster than it seems, and that the life you keep putting off needs to start now. I can't make that choice for you, but I can tell you, don't be the 73-year-old woman looking back and wishing she could do it all over again. Don't waste 52 years figuring this out. Learn from my mistakes. Live intentionally. Get your priorities straight. Stop saying later. Someday is today. It always has been. If you found this meaningful, please share this video. Write in the comments what you'll do differently today. Subscribe, because I still have things to say. But time is short. The clock is ticking. How will you spend your time? Don't rush to turn this off. Sit with it for a moment and think.